Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back. This is HD Starcraft, and of course, I'm back for Game 3 here from this epic series between Jaedong and MC from the WCS Season 2. I hope you guys have enjoyed the cast so far. If you have, check me out. I'm at YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter at HD Starcraft. I've got more great games coming out for you guys after this set, so do stay tuned. I'll try to keep the downtime to a minimum this time around. I know it was a couple of days between this one and the last one I did. And anyways, this is going to be the third and final match between Jaedong and MC. Wow, the last game, I have to say, if you guys haven't seen it, check it out. It was probably the best PvZ I have ever casted in my entire life. It was that sick. And we are now in game 3, baby. Oh my god. What is going to happen in this game? It's surprised me every single game of this set so far. Both players have played to an absolutely perfectionist level of StarCraft, and I've got to say, the last game, it just went down to the wire. It was literally the best micro player was going to win that game. Who had the best micro, who had the ability to keep their forces alive and make the best decisions was going to win game 2. And I gotta say, MC did a really good job of keeping his Immortals, Archon, Zealots, and just using them perfectly. And with a little bit of luck, he was able to win that last final battle against Jaedong and eventually able to take out the game as well. So, man, what a sick one. We are now going to be here on this map, and this is a much smaller map than the previous one, Belshir Vestige, but not to say, or was the last one Whirlwind? I don't recall. It was just such an epic game. But regardless, I don't think this game will be as long, although I could be mistaken. Typically, games on this map tend to end a little bit faster because it is smaller. It is 1 versus 1. And I guess we're going to find out what happens here. Will MC go for an early 2-base strategy? He tried to do it actually last game. It didn't work out because Jaedong was able to defend really nicely. But if MC wants to, he could certainly try to go for an early aggressive maneuver. They worked really well for him in the past. And Jaedong can fall susceptible to them. In fact, Stardust has shown that one of the ways to take out Jaedong is not to go into the late game, but to take him out in the early game. Although, having said that, last game, MC did win a 40-minute plus battle against Jaedong, and that was a late game. Although a lot of that heavily focused on micro rather than macro, I suppose. Regardless, I'm very excited here, obviously, to bring you guys the final match. And cannot wait to see what happens. One probe here running away, obviously, from the Zergling. And it looks like we do have a Nexus coming up from MC. He's going to be going for an expansion. A bit of a Naniwa style opening here, Gateway Cybernetics Core into Expo. The reason why you do this is it allows you to get early forces on the field. You keep the Zerg player from going into a quick third hatchery because they have to worry about that gateway. And finally, in Heart of the Storm, you get a Mothership Core as well. So all these things are very nice for Protoss, and it looks like MC is going to make use of that Mothership Core right away. He gets a Zergling kill. And in fact, might be able to kill off the Zergling at the front door as well, unless Jaedong pulls it away, which he will do. So Jaedong limits his losses there, and I think MC will probably bring this Mothership Core around. Typically, as Protoss, there's no real reason to leave that Mothership Core at your base. It's a great scouting unit. It does a little bit of early game damage as well. So in general, it's a pretty good unit to hover and harass. Literally, that's what it does best. It hovers and it harasses. And if MC wants to, he can certainly fly this around and get a scope as to what Jaedong is up to. Right now, Jaedong is going to be going for a third expansion. No surprise there. Although I will say, against a Naniwa style opening, it is a little bit risky. You do need to make sure that you keep your forces on the map as well, because you can fall prey to an early gateway attack very easily. For example, in the last game, MC trying to go for a 7-gate all-in. Although that time it didn't work, it is a very hard counter to going for against a greedy Zerg player. So Jaedong has to be very careful here. Doesn't want to just straight up die to an early attack from MC. And I'm sure he'll likely throw up an early Rotorn once again. Typically, when you're facing up a Naniwa opening, and the Protoss player has these gateways up and running and you go for that early third expansion, it is prudent, it is vital that you go for a roach horn, because you have to have roaches on the map to defend against an early attack. And in fact, I do think MC might be planning to go for just that. He has a proxy pylon on the left hand side of the map, and it looks like he's bringing his mothership core around as well. And will MC go for it? Will he throw down more gateways or not? He's got 4 gateways already. If he throws down 2 or 3 more gateways, then we know what the plan is. And in fact, there are 2 more gateways coming up right now. MC is going to go for the 2 base all in, and unless Jaedong gets roaches on the field here, he is going to be in a lot of trouble. Will he be able to get roaches in time? It looks like he is going to see the impending attack, and with this scout, he does produce 8 roaches. Very nice by Jaedong, and you'll note he actually kept his larva available rather than doing what most players would do, transforming those larvae into drones. He kept the larva available in case MC was going for just this, and he knows that, you know, once he sees these forces coming in, he'll need those larvae, and he produces them immediately into roaches. Very nice by Jaedong. And now will he be able to make the defend here? MC looking to end the game here in game 3. Doesn't want to play a prolonged game like he did in game 2, bringing in the proxy pylon as well. Has a bunch of sentries here. He has to worry about a counterattack from behind. Has those force fields coming down. Time warp field coming out as well. These roaches have been cornered away by the reinforcements by the force fields. Will Jaedong have enough to defend here? MC bringing in more reinforcements from the pylon. Has more force fields coming down as well. Time warp field playing its role, and I think MC might have enough to win this battle, but there are more zerglings and roaches coming in. If Jaedong can get the zerglings and roaches in position in time, he might be able to make this defend, but he's losing a lot of his forces here. And it looks like he might just lose his hatchery. And you guys all know when a Zerg player loses their 3rd hatchery, they will lose the game typically. So Jaedong cannot afford to lose this. He has to defend no matter what. He's using drones to fight as well. 2 drones in battle. Both of them go down. And Jaedong now bringing his queens in as well. But he's running out of reinforcements. And I think Jaedong will have to sacrifice his hatchery. MC with the 6 gateway 2 base all in. I think he will be able to take out this hatchery. And Jaedong, not a great way to start game 3. In fact, one of the worst ways to start it, and nothing that Jaedong can do. Nothing at all. He didn't have a counterattack set up. He wasn't able to go back and harass the gateways. In fact, even if he did, MC had his gateways spread out anyways, so it wasn't like Jaedong could depower a grid of gateways for free. But Jaedong hasn't given up yet. Obviously, he can't afford to, but the hatchery is going to go down. MC with one of his well-timed, brilliant attacks. And once again, just a build order victory here, it looks like, for Jaedong, for MC. And, you know, he practices these aggressive builds to perfection. And even a player like Jaedong here, hard-pressed to defend against it. But he hasn't obviously surrendered yet. Has a formidable amount of roaches here on the field. He does lose his hatchery, though, so even if he defends here, it's kind of one of those, well, you know, hollow victories. I beat your army, but I lose my hatchery. And so MC now doesn't necessarily need to commit to this. He could actually pull back and play macro now if he wants to. But I think MC here is going to give us a treat. I think he wants to show us that he is the man with the plan. He knows how to win games with straight out raw aggression. And he's going to give us an entertaining finish here. He's going to try to end the game right here and now. And Jaedong, I think he'll have enough roaches to defend. Certainly does have enough roaches here. And MC, I guess he's got to be a little careful. He doesn't want to overcommit, because a lot of times here when you overcommit to this attack and you lose your entire Protoss army, all of a sudden you sway the momentum right back in favor of the Zerg player. And MC knows that, so he's pulling his Stalkers back here, waiting for more reinforcements to come in. And Jaedong here having to rely heavily on his Queens and Transfusion to keep his army alive. But MC is continuing to keep the pressure on, breaking the back of Jaedong here. More Stalkers coming in. And I think he'll have enough, but it's going to be very close. No, Jaedong will be able to defend here. He will be able to push the Protoss army back towards that pylon, kills off additional Stalkers as well. And this Mothership Core actually coming in at the last minute, taking out the weakened Queen. But Jaedong continuing to push in. Jaedong realizing, hey, if MC is going to continue to be aggressive here, then I can actually, you know, maybe win this game by swaying the momentum back in my favor by taking out this army. He also tries to get a hatchery down there, but unfortunately it gets canceled off. And Jaedong realizing, man, I need this hatchery up and running. I need the hatchery no matter what. And he's continuing to apply pressure with these roaches, trying to regain lost territory. but will he have enough in the bank? It looks like this drone gonna become a hatchery once again. Jaedong really relentless here, stubborn-headed, really trying to get the hatchery down, knowing if I can get this hatchery up and running, and if I can break this army, I might still have a shot in this game. And it looks like he might just barely be able to do it. I'm losing my voice here casting this game, but Jaedong will be able to he gets his hatchery back. I mean, how the hell do you do that? That was absolutely incredible. And I don't know how in the hell Jaedong managed to pull that off. I mean, players are hard-pressed enough to hold off a 2-base, 6-gateway attack when they are on 3 bases as a Zerg player. Jaedong was down to 2 bases, and he somehow, someway mustered up enough roaches to counter MC's attack and to be able to reclaim a lost hatchery as well. I mean, that was the tyrant at his best. How did he do that? I don't know. And maybe MC with a slight case of over-aggression there. I mean, MC certainly could have just pulled back after killing off that 3rd hatchery and sat back and just macroed, and he would have been in a great position. But MC, I think, wanting to try to end the game right there and then, rather than going into the late game, ended up hurting himself a little bit more than he should have. And now all of a sudden, this game is right back in the Zerg player's, fist, right back in his clench. And unless MC does something here, I think Jaedong is going to have this game. He's going to make another counterattack here. Jaedong now, with the case of aggression, wants to try to counterattack and maybe put a little bit of pressure on MC, but it looks like the front door too well defended here, and I don't think Jaedong will be able to break through that. Now Hydras are on the way, and it's just an interesting position now because in a way both players have kind of reset a little bit. MC and Jaedong both, you can see 11,000 and 10,000 resources lost, which is a very high amount of resources lost for 15 minutes into this game. And Jaedong continuing to apply pressure at the front door here. MC not wanting to allow the Zerg forces to rendezvous out there, dropping down force fields and time warp fields, hoping that he'll be able to push out a little bit and claim a 3rd nexus of his own. And wow, what a sick one this set has been. I've got to say kudos to MC for well-timed attack, but really big ups to Jaedong for being able to defend that 2-base all-in and being able to reclaim his lost hatchery. I've actually never seen that happen before. That is how amazing that actually was. You guys might think I'm like fawning over Jaedong and, you know, drooling all over him or whatever, but literally I have never seen that happen before. That is the first time I've seen a Zerg player be able to come back from a deficit like that, and that I thought it was over. You know, I really did, but now here we are. Jaedong at 136 supply, MC at 89 supply. MC is on the back foot here, and you know, he's technologically starved. He doesn't have the technology you'd like to see a Protoss be at for 17 minutes into this game. He certainly doesn't have a 3rd base up and running. He's trying to get it up and functional right now, but I don't know. I think Jaedong's got this. And we'll just have to wait and see what happens here, but Jaedong's certainly going to be making a push here with his roaches and hydras, and he's going to surround the Protoss army. Oh, beautiful surround here. And nothing that MC can do about this. These hydras are just going to eat him up for breakfast. And MC now trying to pull back, trying to drop a couple more force fields down, but he doesn't have enough firepower. Mostly, he doesn't have a Colossus here in order to deal with these Hydralisks, and he is going to lose his entire Protoss army. Jaedong has the 3rd game in the bag, and wow, what a great set of games this has been. What a comeback by Jaedong, and incredible set of games. I hope you guys enjoyed. I know I'm calling a little bit prematurely here, but it is 155 supply to 71. I hope you guys enjoyed the games. I'll have more games coming out for you guys in the near future, obviously, but for now I think that MC is pretty much done for. Does get an immortal out, but too many roaches and hydras at the front door now. And GG calls MC. Wow, that is it. Jaedong was victorious. And sick games. I'll see you guys later in the next cast. And this is HD signing out.